Hello, hello, what is up? What is good? We have a new chapter of One Piece. This is chapter 1110. We're heading into our first quad 1111. I don't know, maybe something crazy will happen. It seems likely because crazy things are happening in every single chapter right now. We are in the final stages of Egghead, I think. I've said that before and I've been wrong. But like, what more can happen? It seems like they're summoning all of the five Elder Stars to Egghead to try to just eliminate Luffy right here and now. This represents, I think, probably the scariest, mightiest fighting force the world government can produce. I really don't think Luffy is going to be able to tangle with them right now. We are going to be seeing a flea ending as Egghead does, unfortunately, tragically fall, is my guess. But who knows? Because this shit is crazy. Here we get a little more of the cover story. We see Yamato, the ogre child, trying to convince Momonosuke that he is in fact this reincarnation of Odin, as he believes to be and has adopted as his like identity or whatever. I want to travel throughout Wano like Odin did. How about you travel throughout the world and come join the Straw Hats? Wouldn't that be fun? And turn into a wolf and fuck shit up. But yeah, this seems like it'll be a fun little cover story. It could be impactful if Yamato somehow stumbles into the ancient weapon that is sleeping underneath Wano, or like learns things to that effect. But at the very least, I'm sure we'll check in with all our Wano buddies, see how they're living in this new prosperous era, and that'll be really nice. Okay, let's get into it. So yes, the 5 bolts of black lightning flying down onto the Egghead Island in the epicenter of this fight. This is just crazy, seeing all the flames, these poor palm trees engulfed in flame. By the way, I realized, because it was like funny to me, and it seemed like weirdly appropriate, that there was palm trees all over Egghead. But, you know, there wasn't seemingly any reason to it. I think I get it now. I think I get the homage. It's to Dr. Slump, which I've been rereading recently in, you know, memoriam of Toriyama. In Dr. Slump, which is also about all sorts of wacky scientific happenings and stuff, and stars a mad scientist, not too dissimilar to Vegapunk in terms of what he's capable of. Of course, you know, Norimaki is a lot sillier, the titular Dr. Slump. But yeah, in the setting of Dr. Slump, even though it's like a rural Japanese town, there's palm trees everywhere. And I think it's just because Toriyama liked drawing palm trees. And I think that might be why Egghead has palm trees too. Like, I get that it's like a tropical island or whatever, but they're so emphasized. They're in so many shots so prominently. And it just like looks right. But I think that might be the reason why. Okay, anyways. Yes, so I like that this older vice admiral who maybe has some experience or some knowledge of what this must portent is the one we see freaking out as she rides on this mechanical sea giraffe. Everybody is freaking out. Even the giants are kind of freaked out. I'm worried about the others. Yeah, you should be. The giants can really fuck shit up, dude. This guy just shot an arrow and it blew up a big part of a battleship. That's sweet. I like that even with all this other stuff going on, we are getting moments of the giants fighting. Oh, unless it was the pacifista that blew up the battleship there. I don't know. Whatever. We're getting giant action. That's what I like. Okay. Oh, man. That's right. This is still happening. Their goofy little intro of just bantering and chatting. Vega coffee. Instantly nice warm coffee. People are gonna think it's just an ad for that, you dumbass. Get to the point, get to the point. I like this. I mean, it's in some sense like very artificial tension, right? Like we're getting this most like orchestrated they need to stop this within. I mean, I said, oh, they're coming to take out Luffy, but this is the real thing they're trying to stop. They need to stop this broadcast within like 5 minutes or whatever. And the 5 minute thing is like totally arbitrary. It's just that Vegapunk decided that's how long it would take for people to get their projectors set up. So, you know, that's very contrived, but at the same time, it really speaks to, like, Vegapunk's personality. It's, like, a nice kind of finale for the character, I think. That this is just who he is, down to his blood. But yes, they're all gone. This room that has always been populated by those creepy old men is now empty. Like, we're on a strict timer. Let's wait 7 minutes or so. Oh my gosh. Not that anyone will be close enough to stop us if they wished. So they come down in the form of their freaky shadow figures, which we saw fighting against Sabo. And we didn't really get a good sense of like what they were capable of or what they were doing. There was some talk that maybe this was like Imu's power. Oh, snap. Okay, now they are revealing their demonic selves. There are 5 monsters now. So yeah, these like kind of inky, shadowy figures fading away to these actual spooky demons, which have sick, nasty designs. So one is a bull, one looks like maybe a fox or something. Unclear. A lot of teeth. A crocodile, maybe. And here it's looking like they're using maybe the original Chinese names. Or some of them sound Japanese. Itsumade sounds Japanese. Fengshi sounds very Chinese. So before people were like, oh, there's like 5 canonical demons that Son Goku fights in Journey to the West. And people were speculating that these guys were based on that. As far back as the Sabo fight, people had this theory. Which looks like that's definitely true. I think. Like, I don't know what those demons are. We're going to look into it. But I assume that's what's going on here. Spooky. Sandworm. Hey, I just saw Dune. You're the desert, baby. We're Duning out here. This is crazy. It's like, I don't even understand how to, like, fathom the power and stuff. But I do want to say this. I think it's very cool that in these, like, endgame type adversaries, Oda has chosen to employ this, like, inky, perfect blackness, you know? And yeah, there's some sort of gradient being used to kind of distinguish one from its surroundings or whatever. But the sense you're supposed to get is that these are just, like, incorporeal, totally blacker than black, like something that just like doesn't exist in nature in a way that nothing in the series has really used yet. Same with like the black lightning that touches down in their summoning circles. So many things like this. The magic that seems to be involved in these guys warping around is totally unlike any other phenomenon in One Piece. The regeneration abilities of Saint Saturn is like nothing else we've seen in this entire series. It's like all these kind of elements that are familiar to shonen readers and have a certain level of impact and stuff. Oda has really preserved and saved just to make these guys like extra unique, extra impactful, which I think is just sick nasty. And maybe there's meaning to it too. Like I noticed the flames around Saint Saturn, these like black flames that we see in the side are also encircling Bakotsu, which is some sort of like horse demon. What is Fengshi? A frog? I don't know. Those aren't too dissimilar than the black flames that we saw, like the awakened form of Lucci, and the white flames that wreath around Gear 5 Luffy. Is that something? Is that like a manifestation of Haki or something? I don't know. Okay, we gotta keep reading. I can stare at this page all day. It's so fucking crazy. The world, oh my god, the spread. The highest authority of the world government, 5 elders. What a frickin' parallel, what a contrast to when they're first introduced with a similar, if not identical, little narration explanation. and they're just these old dudes chilling in a room. And now these grotesque demons wreathed in black flame at this epicenter of destruction and madness bearing down on our protagonist. Okay, so it's clear one is like some big serpent bird thing. One looks like kind of a boar. We have our big spider, of course, a skeleton horse, and then the gigantic sandworm. I don't know. I think these... Okay, I we can stitch together a plausible estimation of Japanese mythology through pop culture. Because I know in Pokemon, they also modeled some like boss Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet after these demons, I'm pretty sure. And I think there was like an earthworm and a horse and a spider. Am I right? I didn't actually play Scarlet and Violet. I know there's a worm at least. So I don't know. But this is freaking sick. This is so crazy, dude. I love these designs so much. They're like hellish. Truly hellish. Okay, we're gonna see some of the crazy shit it can do. Okay. So this one, that kind of looks like Gandhi with the baldness and the glasses, and he had kind of like a robe on when the rest of them wear like suits. The Gandhi-esque one, motherfucker. We know all their names now, actually. His name is Saint Ethan Baron V. Nusiro. See, I didn't even like look at the names. So some of them are like we speculated. You know, it's very commonly understood that there's going to be some sort of like solar system theming to a lot of these like final elements, because the ancient weapons were already planet themed, right? I mean, Roman god by way of planet, or vice versa. This whole like kind of solar system model of the endgame cosmology of One Piece and power dynamics and stuff. So yeah, they're all planet references. Some of them are just straight up planets: Saturn, Mars, and then we get Warcury, which is like Mercury but war, because I think that guy's Minister of War. Topoman Warcury, Margus Mars, J. Garcia Saturn, Ethan Baron V. Nusjiro, Venus, very good, and Saint Shepherd Jupiter. It's a little on the nose. It's maybe a little goofy, but I like it. There's like a gravity to it. So yes, Ethan Baron, Venus Judo. So we can try to like extrapolate a little more from the cosmology here, because Jupiter, originally of the Roman gods, was like the king of all gods, right? He was the god of gods. And Saturn was also positioned very highly in that kind of hierarchy as the god of death. And then the rest of them were kind of more minor. Like Mars is the god of war. Mercury is the god of like transit and deceit and trickery and speed. Venus is the god of love and affection and eros and stuff. Those are all important. But Jupiter is just literally like god of the sky. And like the reason we're all here. And Saturn is god of the underworld and death and everything. So we might have reason to think that those two kind of stand above in the five. But I don't know. I don't think that's worth speculating on too much. Just food for thought. Okay, so Venus Man de-demonizes. It's interesting to me that he like rears up and brays like a horse. It's almost like they're losing some of their human faculties when they're this in these demonic forms, you know? In the same way that St. J. Garcia like started looking real wild with his eyes bulging out and didn't really seem to be like fully human anymore. So yeah, he's like braying like a horse, and maybe he's like, oh, this is a little cringe. I gotta do some human stuff. He transforms back and flies in, half demon, half human, swinging that sword. A black blade, mind you, which of course we know is significant in this series. This is fucking crazy. And just one-shots the Pacifista. And it's clear that he's not just cutting the Pacifista in half. This is like some sort of like death blade. Crazy. It's so badass. An enormous horse on the shore. It's racing through them. Pacifista close to us is sad to... Oh my gosh. Oh, they're partially frozen. I see. He has kind of like an ice elemental thing. Short time's up. Get away from there. Time's up indeed. Here we see the one, the bird snake one just hovering ominously. God knows what it's going to do. The fallen pacifistas are temporarily disabled due to freezing the circuits in the brain. Kill Bonnie now. We have the opening. This Doberman, what a freakazoid. Pacifista's number has already been halved. Definitely an ally's work. Really freaky monsters flying up towards you. Escape at once. I like this too. Look, this is such a crazy shot. Like, you can see down at the bottom St. Venus. I'm just going to call them by the planet names because that's easier to remember. Just mowing through all of these, disabling them instantly, and then flying up to the Labosphere. This scary ass thing. Who is... this is Mars, the god of war. But I think in I think his actual department was like economics. I like this though. I like that they came here with a plan, right? And I don't even think they had to like discuss it beforehand. I don't think they were waiting for the teleportation to activate and going, all right, you start taking to the Pacifistas. I'm gonna fly up to the Labosphere. I mean, maybe they did, but it really just shows that these guys are like so coordinated that they may have like centuries of experience. I don't know what's going on with these guys exactly, but there's some sort of like battle instinct that's just driving them to completely divide and conquer this entire situation. This chapter's only like half over. Oh my god. This is so crazy. Luffy's still fighting Jay Garcia. Brother, you gotta run. I think you gotta run. You can offer your excited, freaked out, childlike commentary, but do it while beating a hasty retreat. So yeah, they're planning to stop it. It looks like Usopp fired off some fast-growing bamboo. They freaked it out. They freaked it. Why did I say they freaked it? They figured it out. I planted some bamboo, and then I freaked it. I'm gonna drag him back with me. Okay. Power Scaler alert! Is Zoro actually capable of fighting Lucci? I think we're gonna find out right now. God, I'm just kidding. I don't care. This is not the correct way to read One Piece. I mean, I don't know. I talked about it at length with a friend of mine recently. We were talking a lot about One Piece. He's rereading it right now. And basically, my take is, I don't really care about power scalers. I don't really care about these endless discussions of power hierarchies and who can beat this and who can beat that. Comparisons of feats. All that stuff. It just doesn't matter to me. I think that can only kind of like bog down your story if you really are trying to stay super consistent and super precise with all of this power scaling information or whatever. But at the same time, I do get that people really enjoy that and they enjoy looking at the series through that lens. And it's fun for them, and I can't deny that. And it's not fun for me, but that's me and that's them. And the beauty of shonen, I think, is that you have to be quite expansive, right? Like, you appear in a magazine that's going to have a lot of readers, and a lot of readers coming in with different expectations and different hopes and things that they like. And to some extent, you need to cast a wide net and give them all something to cling on to and enjoy. So I don't mind, I guess, if One Piece... Because we were talking about this in the context of bounties, that Bounties are, you know, a huge deal for power scaler type readers. Anyways, so it's like, yeah, you can throw them a bone. I don't mind. I think that's good. Okay. Anyways, power scaler alert. They're still fighting. Since the maps of Haki too. It looks like Lucci's doing pretty good. Lucci's like crazy strong, I guess. Or Zoro's crazy weak. No, I'm never serious when I say things like this. To me, it's like, just do what tells a good story. And if somebody's problem with your story is, hey, how did this person not beat this person when they beat that person and that person beat this person, so therefore this should be stronger than that, that's not, I don't think that's a valid complaint, because if you did follow all those rules, it might be a less interesting story. So just make the most interesting story. Okay. He's a liability. Oh, here we go. He needed Sanji to piss him off so that he would frickin' deal with it. I see. Okay, well that settles that. Grabs his third sword. I like the small detail of all of these chopped up trees in the area where they're fighting. That's just happening with Zoro incidentally. Finishes him. Uh-oh. Whoa. Nice. Oh, this is such a great little finale to this amazing chapter that's just full of insane shit happening. This is, of course, a reference to way back when they first encountered them, and the island-swallowing goldfish ate up their the little Going Merry as it was sailing away from Little Garden. And then the giants sliced open the goldfish, and they were able to swim free, sail free, whatever. This is like a really nice little parallel moment, slicing the earthworm in two spots. Now we're really gonna see how crazy is this regenerative capacity. Will it be able to bounce back from this? And I love this reunion. Oh, this is so good. Laughing as they fight one of the greatest, most evil forces in the world. You know, I was like, yeah, they gotta run. They can't fucking tussle with these guys. There's no way that they're gonna take down all 5 Elder Stars. But who knows? Because they have the 2 giant captains on their side. And these guys, we have no idea how strong they are. They might actually be so friggin' crazy strong. Okay. Power scalers. Power scalers, let me know. Give me some feat comparison info. How strong are the giants? I need to know. I don't know. I mean, no offense, obviously. Everyone should enjoy One Piece in the way that suits them best. I just like razzing people. Okay, great chapter. Crazy chapter. I feel like almost manic just reading that. It's so insane what's happening here. Let's look forward to next week. Let's look forward to next week, baby.